good. Oh, there we go. There it is. All right. Good morning, Wesley Hills. Good morning, UUers. So the first thing that I was going to talk to you about, I don't need to because you're already responding. Beautiful. You're awake. You're caffeinated, I hope. I come from a tradition that is pretty vocal, and I've been told that y'all can be a little bit demure. So we're gonna just amp it. We're just gonna turn the dial up a little bit today. I trust you'll come with me. Thank you for welcoming me and my quote-unquote favorite heathen, Mark Whitlock, on the piano there. Yeah. For those of you who don't know, I'm James Dargan, D-A-R-G-A-N, not Dragon, as I have been called before. We are so happy to be with you today. Thank you for trusting me, and especially thank you to Reverend Mark for trusting me with kind of the vision and the theme that we'll go and explore today. As part of that exploration, our first hymn is, I believe is it 299? Yeah, what is it? There we go. Oh, participation already. This is Ring Out Wild Bells, and I know I chose a hymn with winter in it, but bear with me. The reason will become clear in a few minutes. I'm going to walk down to stand next to Mark and lead from the piano with him. I trust that y'all will join your voices with me with every vigor that you have, okay? All right. And Mark, if you want to play that first verse, that intro, go ahead and do that. This is the whole thing. Okay.
Please rise. So good morning, everyone. Good morning, and welcome to UU Wellesley Hills. I am the Reverend Mark Roble, and I'm the senior minister here. And we are surrounded by talent. We're always surrounded by talent, but especially this morning. We're so lucky to have Mark and James here with us today. So here at UU Wellesley Hills, we are an open and affirming congregation. For us, it doesn't matter what you look like. It doesn't matter whom you love. It doesn't matter how you dress. It doesn't matter if you're gay or straight or bi or something in between. It doesn't matter if you're single. It doesn't matter if you're a Christian or a Jew or a Hindu or a humanist or an atheist. What matters to us every single Sunday is that we are here together, sitting here together, worshiping together, and supporting each other in community. So regardless of where you are on your own personal spiritual journey, however you name or don't name the holy presence in your life, we are thrilled that you're here with us today. So, welcome to UU Wellesley Hills, where we are joyfully called to worship this morning. Thank you. So let's see, do we have anyone new here for the first time? If you're new, just raise your hand. There we go. Welcome, welcome. We're glad you're here with us this morning. Now, as we do every Sunday, first let's turn to our camera and wave to the folks in our online pews. Now let's turn to each other wish each other peace. So most of you know over the past year, Nicole, Susie, Terry, and I have been playing with the announcements and where they should sort of go. For the last month or so, I've been doing the announcements after the choral benediction, but there's something so jarring about them being there. The choir sings this beautiful choral benediction, and then it's like, now we have announcements. And so I'm moving the announcements back to right before we light the chalice. It just feels like a better spot for the announcements. And they may move again, but just FYI. Unfortunately, we have had to cancel our May 18th Caring Kids and Families program. We were doing some we were going to have a scavenger hunt and do some one-bag meals to deliver to local food pantries. Thank goodness Karen Quigley reminded me that the 18th is the Wellesley Day Parade, which I knew, and they close Washington Street at 12:30 on that day, and so there's no way in or out of here after 12:30 until like 4 o'clock. And that was the only Sunday that April had available during the month. So we will continue with the program in June. Our last program will be in June. So just FYI, if you see announcements for it, it's canceled on the 18th. And from Nancy Fenstermacher, please note that the third concert in the UU Wellesley concert series, an evening of a cappella music by NOTA and OTA, an 8-year artist in residence group here, and Tonehedge will occur on Friday, May 19th at 7 p.m. in the sanctuary. Flyers are available in the vestibule to pick up and distribute. Your help in advertising this concert less than 2 weeks away is greatly appreciated. Nancy has the posters there. You know the drill. You know, we've done this, so please stop and sign up and pick up some posters to distribute. And now, please check the back of your order of service for the rest of the announcements and things that are going on in next week and the upcoming weeks. So now, as we deepen into worship, I'd like to invite Reed up to light our chalice. Our flaming chalice is not only a shining symbol of our Unitarian Universalist commitment to religious pluralism and humanitarian principles, but it's also a much-needed light shining out into our world. We light it on our altar each Sunday and any time we gather as a community. If you're watching from home and have a chalice on hand, you might want to light yours now. The words are spoken in unison, and you'll find them printed in your order of service or appearing on your screen. So please join me in saying them as Reed lights our chalice. We light this chalice to illuminate our faithful way forward as an inspirational community of hope. Together, we seek spiritual growth. We strive for just and responsible action. We dedicate ourselves to leading lives of compassion and purpose. Thank you, Reed. And now, for our story for all ages, I'd like to invite young folks, young at heart, old folks, anyone who'd like to come up and join me here on the steps this morning on our chancel for our story. Come on, come on, come on. Roz and Joel, come on up. I don't know if I mentioned this last Sunday, I don't think I did. Roz had a banging dance party on Saturday. Her birthday party was hopping. Right, Roz? So our story today is called A Little Spot of Kindness. I don't know how I'm going to do this, holding a microphone. Do you know that? A little spot of kindness. My name is Spot, and I'm not just any ordinary spot. I'm a little spot of kindness. I've never seen a spot of kindness before. What is a spot of kindness? A spot of kindness has a sticky back. The reason my back is sticky is so that I can help kindness stick to you. Whoa. I come in so many colors because the easier I can be spotted, the easier it will be to remind you to be kind. I couldn't see that word. I know sometimes it's hard to remember to be kind, and that's why I'm here to help. All you need to do is place a spot on your hand just like that. Now, every time you spot me, do something kind. I can't draw. This looks horrible. Don't you know that all great artists start with a scribble? I see it's working already. Great job using encouraging words when someone is feeling sad. Remember, being supportive is being kind. Can I please play with your dinosaur? Sure you can. Thanks for asking. That's wonderful that you're sharing toys. Remember, sharing is being kind. Saying please when you want something is one of the easiest ways to be kind. Remember, being polite is being kind. May I have some more water, please? Sometimes being kind can be hard, like when you break something by accident. But this is a perfect time to be kind. Remember, apologizing is being kind. My favorite pink crayon. I'm so sorry I broke your crayon. It was an accident. Do you need help? Yes, please. Thank goodness there was someone there to lend a helping hand. Remember, helping is being kind. Now, grab a little spot of kindness so you too can remember to be kind. And I have little spots of kindness here. Would you give them out? If everyone will put a little spot of kindness. Here, let's get Roz and Joel over here. There we go. So every time we look at our little spots on our hands, we'll remember to be kind today. Thank you, everyone.
Each Sunday, this congregation collects a weekly offering as part of its larger spiritual practice of generosity. Our monthly plate collection theme for April is International Outreach, and today's collection will benefit Learn Afghanistan. Learn Afghanistan is a grassroots not-for-profit dedicated to educating teenage girls, which is against the law in Afghanistan, where school beyond the 6th grade is prohibited for girls. The founder of the school, Pashtana Durrani, who became a target of the Taliban because of her illicit work, is now an international scholar in residence at the Wellesley Centers for Women at Wellesley College. Shout out to our Wellesley College visitors. From her safe haven at the college, Pashtana uses the very unreliable internet in Afghanistan to continue running 6 underground secret schools which teach 700 girls daily. She has educated 10,000 students and trained more than 80 teachers in digital literacy. For her remarkable bravery and activism, Pashtana, who is only 27 and whom I know well, has won numerous prestigious international awards. Presently visiting her family in Afghanistan, we are waiting with concern because of the Muslim ban to learn if she will be allowed back into this country. Your donation can be made either electronically or by the plate collection that will be passed. If you want to make an online payment, visit the online giving page on our website. Once there, be sure to put plate collection, to select plate collection from the drop-down menu. If you write a check, please remember to put Learn Afghanistan on the memo line. Please give generously to support the teenage girls in Afghanistan who desperately want to learn, despite the Taliban's law declaring that they have no right to an education. Thank you.
We open our circle of care and concern this morning with these words from Rebecca Savage. Spirit of life, eternal beloved of mystery and grace, receive our prayer. We come before that which is greater than ourselves in gratitude for the fullness of our lives, for the anguish and grief that inform our mission to side with love again and again, for the suffering and disenchantment of our people that foment our passion for justice and wholeness, for complex lives, for hard lives, for real, full, and overwhelmed lives. We give thanks for the blessings that we have been given. We have been given the reassurance of community, the steady warmth of hope, and the unwavering faith that there will be better days. We give thanks and seek your grace. Spirit of love, come alongside with all the holy nudges that we need, so we may live in such a way that we celebrate all of the blessings that we have been given, so we may be the blessings in the world. With these words now in our minds and in our hearts, let us reflect with a moment of silence. And may it be so. Now I'd like to invite all who wish to come forward and light a candle of intention. And if you're comfortable, please tell us what person or place this intention is for, and we will carry them in our hearts. Those in our online pews, please type your joy or concern in the comment section, and we will also carry your intention in our hearts. So please come down the center aisle, light your candle, and return by the side aisle. Now let us begin.
This candle is for a friend undergoing breast cancer treatment.
This is a joy. My granddaughter Anne and her partner Shafali are getting married in August in Wellfleet. So, thank you.
I'm lighting a candle for a fellow Wellesley student whose uncle passed away suddenly yesterday.
I light this candle in gratitude of having finished my sophomore seminar.
This morning, we honor all of these intentions in this community. Alongside these, we know are certain joys and sorrow that remain private this hour. Those too have a rightful place here. So this morning, we honor all of these with light. We light this candle for our families, for our beloveds, for our friends, for all of our relations, for those who are near and for those for whom we feel an unwanted distance, for the newborn, for the elderly, and for all of the wounded children. May this candle inspire us to use our powers to heal and not to harm, to help and not to hinder, to bless and not to curse. May its radiance pour out upon our hearts and spread light into the darkened corners of our world. Our reading this morning is The Inward Sea by Howard Thurman. There is in every person an inward sea, and in that sea there is an island. And on that island is an altar. And standing guard before that altar is the angel with the flaming sword. Nothing can get by that angel to be placed upon that altar unless it has the mark of your inner authority. Nothing passes the angel with the flaming sword to be placed upon your altar unless it be part of the fluid area of your consent. This is your critical link with the eternal.
Now, every once in a while, we need some cheese in our life, a little cheesiness, a little overt sentiment. I know it doesn't come naturally to all of us. My family in particular is, despite our southeastern roots, we're very stiff upper lip, so I stick out like a sore thumb often. I'm sure you all don't know anything about that, about stiff upper lips, but and I appreciate, once again, Reverend Mark and my heathen Mark allowing me to take them on this journey. I especially appreciate having that Thurman read, because this is where we get into the part of the service where all of the parts start to coalesce. Very quick disclaimer, I grew up in a tradition that is broadly referred to as the Black church. I grew up going to church every Sunday, Wednesday, sometimes Saturdays and Thursdays at Mount Zion Christian Church in North Carolina, formerly Mount Zion Baptist Church. And I say formerly only because they changed the name, but they didn't really change the Baptist part. So I grew up in that, and I grew up singing first soprano in the Little Angels of God choir. I was a card-carrying junior usher until I managed to get out of that. So I've been steeped in a religious tradition that is a bit different from the UU way, but even though I'm no longer, practicing, I carry that with me. That's how I grew up. That's who I am. That's why I enjoy hearing y'all chuckle or maybe even say an amen once or twice. No pressure. That's why I like, thank you, there we go. That's why I like the singing to be collaborative. This is to explain where I come from and who I am. But what I come here today to bring you is this idea that where we are from, where we have been, does not determine who we become or where we go or where we end up. I also think, and I know this, one, because I turned 40 last year, and so now I think I know, things that I didn't know before. But also because a little over 2 years ago, a little less than 2 years ago, I died in the hospital. There were things happened, let's put it that way. And I was dead for about 20 minutes. And, they say you see a lot of things. I did not see anything. They say you see a lot of things and understand a lot of things afterwards, and I did have a little bit more clarity afterwards. When something like that happens, you have to pick up the pieces however you can. When you pass out in front of your fiance and then she has to call in the crash team to get you back, and then you are fibrillated, and then you go away again, and then you're brought back again. And then when you have to come back from that, you learn some things. And after that whole ordeal, I started diving more deeply into the work of Howard Thurman. And if y'all don't know who Howard Thurman is, no shame, no pressure. You have homework, though, because after this, you need to go and read as much as you can of him. I came to know Howard Thurman when I was an undergraduate at Boston University back in the day. I was singing in the Marsh Chapel Choir, and one of the Undercroft chapels is called the Thurman Chapel. His writings were posted around the church, and so I got to know his work. He was very, very seminal in the formation of Martin Luther King Jr., when Martin Luther King Jr. was at BU. But Howard Thurman's impact spreads far, far beyond any one of his students. And his principal thing, his principal theme, is this idea that you can move through the world in love, but not being a pushover at all. He was big into that whole nonviolent resistance thing. He was big into that whole, we welcome everyone except for those who are unwelcoming. He was a great man. I encourage you to look up his stuff, but the reason that I wanted to include the Inward Sea is because we are in a time right now, and have been for a while, but especially now, where we are saturated with a lot of shenanigans going on. Shenanigans in our own country, shenanigans around the world, and we have a lot of leaders in particular who seem to prioritize causing a ruckus, whether or not it is good or bad. And it can be difficult to focus on what we need to do with ourselves, because that's really all you can do. You can mind your own business, No matter what kind of reach you have, ultimately, the only thing you can control is yourself. And in a time when our government in particular is moving to take that control away from a lot of people, what we can do is focus on what we must do. I really, really enjoy the line in the intention prayer where it says, may this candle inspire us to use our powers to heal and not to harm, to help and not to hinder, to bless and not to curse. I love the duality of that because it's easy enough sometimes to do a good thing, but it's even easier to unintentionally hurt, to unintentionally break right after you have blessed. And so I want to use all of the threads in this service so far to focus us on what we need to do with ourselves. We started with Après un rêve, and usually when this song is sung, it's just kind of a rosy glow about memory. That's what the song is about, mostly. It's about waking from a dream and wanting it to stay. There are many songs written about this, many poems written about this feeling. And nostalgia is one of the words that we use to describe that feeling of waking from a dream and wishing that it would stay, right? Another meaning of the word nostalgia is, I think, more commonly used when we look back on our childhood or on a wonderful time and we think, oh, what a lovely rosy moment in life. Boy, I wish I was back there. I wish it was that way right now. But I think we have to look at how memory works. I think we have to look at how our minds retrieve these nostalgic memories we cling to so fondly. And especially in certain times, you might think, my God, it's never been this bad. It's never been this way before. But the truth is that humans are cyclical, that we run in gyres and cycles and circles over our history, over our lives, the circle of life and death. Nothing that is going on now has not been seen before, and many things that we've already seen will be seen again. And so when we reach for nostalgia, we have to also realize that our memory tricks us. I don't know, I'm sure y'all have heard about the fact that when your brain retrieves a memory, the act of remembering alters the memory, right? This is one of those things that makes it so frustrating to try to win an argument with a spouse. I have no experience of that, absolutely not. If my wife is watching this, I don't know. But we all know that feeling of having experienced a thing, having been there, and then a day later, a week later, a month, years later, someone asks us to recall it, and we have facts that are not corroborated. Our mind molds them every time we think of this happening. We retrieve it and we alter it. Our fingers kind of smudge it, right? And so when we get nostalgic, when we think of times when in this country or in our lives things have been better, I think we smudge those memories. I think we mold them by retrieving them. I grew up in the black church, black in the South, North Carolina to be precise. My father's family is from South Carolina. My mother's family is from Tennessee and New Orleans. So growing up, I was confronted all the time with the past. And when you grow up in the core of the Southeast, you are almost inoculated from birth with nostalgia. You have people of all colors saying, well, people used to be more civil, people used to have manners, people used to have this or that. The reality is that at every time in our history, we have done what we needed to do to get by, what we thought we needed to do to get by. And sometimes that meant hurting people. We have to be okay retrieving the memories as they actually happened, instead of gilding them over with nostalgia. We are here now. Every time I talk to a family, who are very politically active, socially active and socially conscious, not every time, but sometimes they'll bemoan. They'll be like, oh my goodness, we're just dealing with so many crazy things right now. And I think to myself, what is that protection that our mind does where we say right now we're dealing with so many things? Because it's always been so many things. Always. If you look at the song, the schmaltzy little ditty that we did right before the sermon today, it's called Life and Death, which is a bit much, let's be real, right? It's very much the kind of song that people would play in luxuriously appointed Edwardian parlors, you know. The poet talks about how, you know, to have thee is life, but to miss thee is just death, right? That is also a form of musical and poetic nostalgia. This memory of like romance that takes you, right? But I think all of us who have been fortunate enough to find our long-term partners know that sometimes nostalgia can get in the way of enjoying what you have now and realizing and counting what you have now. I can't remember who it was who said that their daughter just getting married or just got married, but there is a rosy glow to those things that is very appealing. My wife and I just got married last year. And so, you know, I'm still in the period of time where I look back and I think, oh, what a beautiful time. But we've also been together for almost 10 years. So there are no secrets between us. There is very little nostalgia between us. And that's great for me because it reminds me that the important thing about what we are doing is each day we make together. So all of these themes, all of these threads, I want to use them to remind you that right now is the time that we are in and it's the time that we have. And so our responsibility right now is to bless and not to curse. Our responsibility now is to heal and not to hurt. It is not to look back and think, oh my goodness, if only the VHS was still around. I know that's my particular old school thing. If only the Betamax was still around, et cetera, et cetera. If only this, if only that. We are here now. We deal with this now. And I think that the more we remember that everything in humanity is cyclical and our history is cyclical, it always revolves, the more faith we will have to get through these periods of time that seem like very low lows. But really, the beautiful thing is that there are people being born and getting married all the time. And it'll continue to happen. My wife and I have been confronted with a lot of this circle of life stuff recently, especially because even though we are personally okay now, we are dealing with some health struggles with other family members. And so we've been doing a lot of going back and forth, driving back and forth all around Jersey. Reverend Mark and I already talked about my newfound Jersey roots, but we have a lot of family in Jersey, and so we do a lot of driving to see them and to bring them food and whatever we can do. And those situations are at the root sad, especially with family members that we know will probably not make it. But there is joy in being there for them and being there with them. Particularly my wife's aunt. She's lovely. She actually has the same name as one of my aunts, Adeline, and we went to visit her the other day, and she's so weak she cannot really communicate. But she has the most expressive light in her eyes, and she's so joyful to see family that while we were there, she lifted my spirits. I didn't come there for that. You know, we were trying to make sure she was comfortable, and we were talking to her and remembering good times that we've had with her. And the light in her eyes made me understand that even though I was not looking forward to the visit because it was sad, because I thought it was going to be sad, she made me understand that that was the best thing. That was the thing she wanted at the moment. She had joy in her face, lighting up her whole body. And that made me realize that even though it is tempting to cling to the good old days, whatever those days we thought they were, the day that we have is the best day. Life and death are really big subjects, big ideas, and if we get caught up in thinking about them, we can get taken out of the very real life we have right now. So I come to you today bringing all of these grand songs in French and English and very schmaltzy English as well, to remind you to focus on the now, to focus on the here, to relish what you can relish, to do what you can in the moment. Don't give me the, oh, I wish I could do more, I wish I could have done this, I wish I could have done that, because at the end of it all, there is only what you have done already and what you are doing right now. When I was in the hospital coming back from all of the stuff in 2023, I was actually pretty calm when I woke up, because I remember thinking in one of those moments in between going in and out, that I had been very blessed with the life that I'd had so far, that I've been very blessed with the partner that I had, that my fiance cared enough about me to want to get me back. And so I knew that all that was in front of me was recovering. I knew that thinking about what I had been 2 years ago was not going to serve me, because it never serves us. So cling to the happy memories. Remember the things that you wish you could have done better and do them better. But the nostalgia that brings us down, that makes us sad, that makes us think, oh, I wish I could go back. Please don't go back. We need you here. We need you here right now. And if you're lucky, and if you've, I think the only marker of really having lived a good life, if you've lived a good life, you have people that care about you now. So be here with them now. These are the thoughts that comfort me, that I allow into my fluid area of consent, if we're going to go back to Thurman, because they center me. That's the big reason why I wanted that reading today, even though I don't believe in a lot of the angel with a flaming sword, a lot of that biblical stuff that I grew up with. I do believe that a human being is really just a collection of very troublesome jelly up here with a lot of weird moving parts. And our emotions are so powerful that they govern all of that jelly. If we take our time up thinking about how much better things used to be than focusing on what we have now, we trouble those waters. And that island, that altar, that fluid area of your consent, that is your peace. That is what centers you and allows you to walk forward and concentrate on what you have to do. We've all heard the abbreviation MYOB, I think, mind your own business. I grew up with hearing that said by very Southern, very genteel older black ladies. Honey, sometimes you just gotta mind your own business. And it's taken me, I think, until my big age of 40 to really understand what they were talking about. Because I was very idealistic, I was very caught up in, I gotta change the world, gotta do it, And they meant concentrate on your own bite of the cookie. Do what you can do so that you don't get caught up fretting about what you can't do, what you can't control. When I think about this image of the inward sea, this island, this fluid area, it leads me very naturally to the idea that we must channel our energy. We must channel our energy where we know it can do the most good and where we can actually make a difference. And that is actually the principal reason why I chose our final hymn. And this is going to give you your 3-minute warning that I'm going to make you sing in a little bit. So get those hymnals ready for $2.99. And while you're doing that, I'm going to give you one of my favorite, I consider poetry my scripture now, because I'm not a Bible thumper anymore. And one of my favorite writers of my scripture is a poet named Lucille Clifton. And she was a great poet out of Baltimore, Maryland area. And one of my brags in my life is that when I was a kid, my brother and I actually got to meet her. She's spectacular as an author. If I'm going to add to your homework, you have to look up Howard Thurman and you have to look up Lucille Clifton. Those are your two bits of homework today. If you can't tell, I come from a family full of teachers, so I trapped you into class today. But while you get that hymnal ready and while you get your vocal instruments warmed up and ready, I'm going to read you one of Clifton's shortest poems. It ties in with all of this. She manages to sum up in a few words whole global philosophical concepts. But this one, she calls it, "Why Some People Be Mad at Me Sometimes." And it goes, "Why some people be mad at me sometimes? They ask me to remember, but they want me to remember their memories. And I keep on remembering mine." It's so short, I'm going to read it again. "Why some people be mad at me sometimes? They ask me to remember, but they want me to remember their memories, and I keep on remembering mine." Amen. Please rise as you are able and sing 299 with me. And Mark is going to play us the whole first verse as an intro, and I'm going to come down and get all up in your business, mind your business, while we sing together.
Now that our celebration is concluding this morning, we will extinguish our chalice. Our closing words are once again spoken in unison, and you'll find them printed in your order of service or appearing on your screen. Extinguishing this flame which has burned bright in our midst, we revere what has been kindled within each one of us: warmth in community, the light of truth, a perpetual spark of hope.
Or y'all can sit. It's okay. Go ahead. Now the benediction is more Lucille Clifton, because as a true teacher, you have to make sure you reinforce the lessons. And I will seize any excuse to read Lucille. But think about the words we just sang. If we cease to actively keep these channels of love open, they will dry up on us, right? That's what minding your own business is. Keep those channels open any way you can. This is a poem by Lucille that many have called history. So you'll see why. She says, "I am accused of tending to the past as if I made it, as if I sculpted it with my own hands. I did not. This past was waiting for me when I came. a monstrous unnamed baby, and I with my mother's itch took it to breast and named it History. She is more human now, learning language every day, remembering faces, names, and dates. When she is strong enough to travel on her own, beware, she will. And now, as has comforted me so often in the cycles of life, this is Deep River.